everybody! Welcome to Doing Life Deliberately. My name is Trisha, and today I'm going to share with you how I plan our daily schedule. The first thing I do when I work on planning our schedule for the year is I take time to reflect on a few different things. I want to teach the kids to tithe their time to the Lord. I have made a personal habit of waking up and having a quiet time, opening up my Bible, spending time in prayer and journaling. And so that is a habit that I want to build into our kids. So the first thing that we do when we start our school day is we tithe that time to the Lord. We try to give Him our very best, and we have a family Bible time. The next thing I do when I think about how to plan out our daily schedule is I'll consider what are the academic areas of study that take the most like mental energy, and when are the kids most productive. And in our family, it happens to be the earliest part of the day is when they tend to be most focused. And so I tend to put the hardest activities first in the day. Another thing that I'll consider when I put together our daily schedule is the subjects that we do together. We can schedule their individual things around those times, but I want to first make a priority of what are the subjects that we will do collectively. In our family, we use My Father's World curriculum, and so that means that we're doing Bible time together, we're doing history together, we're doing like music appreciation and art. We are doing some science together. So I'll put those into our schedule, and then I'll fill in the individual subjects around that time. Other things that you may want to consider when you're scheduling your day are naps, chores, snack times, meal times, activities that are consistent every week. For us, that means piano lessons. The kids have piano lessons every Tuesday, and they also do a theater class every week. So those are things that I will try to fit their independent subjects around as well. So let me just share with you the Excel spreadsheet that I used this year to make our kids' school schedule. You can see some of these extra things that I did over here, but I did just what I shared with you, where you can see I plugged in family Bible time right at the beginning of the day, and then math tends to be more challenging for us, and I scheduled it after PE, which worked really well, especially at the beginning of the year when the weather outside was really nice. But math and science tend to be the hardest, and so that's why I put them early on in the day. And then we did more of our together subjects in the later part of the morning, and then individual things in the afternoon. Another thing that I didn't share earlier, but I will now, is that sharing technology or musical instruments, those sorts of things, if your kids share those things, like our kids take piano, well, we only have one piano, and we don't have enough computers for every kid to have their own, and the older kids tend to use technology more than the younger kids, so I had to figure out a way to rotate. You can see like piano and Spanish is on the computer. I had to figure out a way to rotate the kids being able to do each of those things. So that's another thing that you should also consider when you're plugging things in. I like doing it as an Excel spreadsheet because I can move things around super easily. And you can see, I even put in time for homework and chores or cleaning up after dinner and bedtime. So that's our daily schedule. So once I complete putting the schedule together for the year, then I will print off the schedule, something like this. And I actually made an individual schedule for our youngest daughter, and I'll slip it into the front of her binder. And then that way she knows exactly where she needs to be at what time throughout the day. Now that doesn't mean I don't have to remind her. The younger they are, the more help they need with staying on track with the schedule, but it just helps them keep pace a little bit. Another tip I would give you, and something that has served our family well, I learned this from someone else, is that sticking to the schedule pretty rigidly for 3 or 4 weeks helps the kids to create a routine. They memorize what's coming next, and they know that if they finish work early, then they can move on to the next thing. And that has just been so helpful, especially early on. Transitioning from summer to the new school year can be really challenging, and if the kids have that schedule in front of them and they know what to expect, then it just helps to create this sense of, I know what to expect, and there's a feeling of security and not being lost, especially when mom or dad is not necessarily available at any particular second because you're helping another kid. So having that schedule right there in front of them can be really helpful. You can also make a dry erase board and write it on there and put it on the wall for everyone to see. Do what works for you, but this has worked well for our family. Another thing I would say is that, I laid out a pretty detailed schedule for our family, but now that we're 2 or 3 months into the school year, we're not following that nearly so rigidly. We have discovered this year that my son in particular is very self-motivated, and so he will wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning and come downstairs, eat some breakfast, and right away he will get to work on his schoolwork. He's made a goal for himself to be done by 10 a.m. so that he can have the rest of the day to play and read and do whatever he wants. So we definitely want to encourage that hard work and getting to it. And so we've given him some extra freedoms because he's working so hard. So work with your kids, examine their personalities. Creating a routine is awesome, but the routine should work for you and not you for the routine. So make adjustments and do what works for you. But the point is that when we plan, we're being deliberate. And so you can do life deliberately by creating your own schedule too. Well, thanks for joining us today. If you found this to be helpful, please give us a thumbs up. Share with your friends if you know someone who would benefit from hearing this video and getting some extra help with homeschooling. Please share it with them. We hope that you'll subscribe to our channel and encourage others to do the same. And please leave your questions, comments, and thoughts below. We would love to hear from you and hear tips on how you schedule your homeschool day. Thanks for joining us. Bye.